Jeff, with you guys being 15-13 with 3 games left in the regular season, as a coach, I was curious how much of one, if there is one at all, of sort of a metaphorical carrot on a stick is there for you? Like, what do you use to keep your guys going, even aside from just pride and competitiveness? What do you use to kind of get your guys going? Like, is there any goal that you put forth? Like, hey, we can do this if we win these many games. Anything along those lines?
No, we're concentrating on Syracuse. We're trying to win a game. We've lost 4 in a row, and so we're trying to do everything we can to get prepared for their zone, be able to guard their guys. Hopefully, we can rebound the basketball. We're not looking ahead to 3 games from now, the ACC tournament, or anything that could possibly come after that. We're just focused and locked in on what we have to do to try to win a game right now.
What has been encouraging about the team at all, if anything?
I'm sorry?
What's been the most encouraging thing about the team lately? I mean, they're really not winning, but what kind of things are happening that make you say, we're getting it?
I think if you look at the last 3 games, I think we've done some good things in spurts. Winning on the road in this league is hard. And so when I say the last 3, you look at the game at Virginia Tech. They had a week off. They hadn't shot the ball well. They shot the ball well. But we did some good things. We got down. We were able to fight back, cut it, to have a chance where we were in the ball game later, but we didn't have enough. To go on the road at Florida State is a tough challenge for anyone. And again, I thought we played well. We got off to a good start, which we hadn't done on the road. And I thought we played well the first 17 minutes. And then we didn't close the half out. And so we go from +1 to down 8. And then in the second half, we didn't do enough to kind of stay in striking distance where we could put some game pressure on them late. I thought Virginia was playing really, really well coming into our game. Their offense was starting to pick up. The prior 7 games to us, they were 41% from 3 after being about 29% in league play. And the 2 games prior to us, they were made 19 threes. They were 19 for 38, so 50%. I thought we did some really good things against them. And we didn't get off to a good start in the second half, shooting the basketball, scoring. But we held them to 35% shooting in the second half. And we were able to make a push at the end where we had the ball with under a minute left where we had a chance to win. So the last 2 are 2 veteran teams. A team that won the national championship, a team I think in Florida State the prior year was in the Sweet 16, and a Virginia Tech team that was in the Sweet 16 that returned their 6th, 7th, and 8th guy, and then 2 guys that set out that were part of that culture. And so that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to establish a culture. It's not trying to continue, but we're trying to establish a culture. There was not one as far as a culture of winning. When I got here. And so that's what we're trying to do with guys on our team and part of our program that don't know how to do it. They're having to learn. They're having to learn on the fly. They're having to learn in the spotlight. Unfortunately for them, they don't have any older guy on the team that can help walk them through it, that can help navigate them through this. That's our job. We're just not with them all day. And so I think we're taking the steps. There's no one that would like it to be faster than me. Nobody. But I have to remain patient, but also have to keep my foot in their butt too, because we can't be satisfied with just being 15-13 right now, or close.
Jeff, in that first game against Syracuse, you guys struggled in the first half, 40 points in the second half. What changed? What did you like about the way you guys played against Arizona in the second half?
Well, I thought it took us a while to get used to it. There's nothing we can do in practice to simulate it. We don't have the size. We don't have the instincts of it. We don't know it like they know it. It's theirs. No one else plays it like them. And so I thought, the couple of days we had in preparation for practice the last time we played them, we looked really good against our zone, against the zone that the team was playing against us. And we got there, and we were able to see right away that it was very different. Those gaps that were open, the shots that you were able to get in practice, you couldn't simulate, their length, and those closed up pretty quickly in the game. I thought in the second half we got better movement. I thought we penetrated the zone. The ball didn't stick. We didn't just go east to west. We were able to go downhill. And I thought we utilized more of the court. And then we were able to make some shots. I mean, sometimes it's that simple. But I do think, we were able to get a few better looks in the second half, and we were able to knock them in.
Go ahead, Al.
The way you played defensively against them, you were really able to take Elijah out of the first half of the game, and then Buddy kind of hurt you, and it seemed like you made an adjustment in the second half. When you're playing a team for a second time in a season, does having had some success like that, where you've taken what they did, then you made an adjustment, does that carry over for your guys that you've kind of seen what they can do to you in a couple different ways?
Well, you also have to anticipate them making adjustments too. I mean, really, the adjustment we made was we put Aldis on Elijah to start, and then we put Aldis on Buddy in the second half. That was the difference. I think, obviously some other guys at different moments guarded both of those guys, but for the most part, that's what happened. That was the adjustment that we made. I have to anticipate them making some adjustments. I thought Elijah in the first half, he missed some shots. He's an outstanding scorer, as is Buddy. They're both outstanding players, and they're very difficult to guard because they're going to play 40 minutes. They have the ultimate green light. There's not a light for them, really, and they can take whatever shot. They have good spacing. They're older, and they're incredibly confident. And so, we have an understanding because we have played them, but also I know that Coach Boeheim and his staff will make some adjustments as well.
But you mentioned that Virginia Tech leaps to mind where this example is concerned, but coming off 5 straight losses, playing at home, very hungry. On paper, it sounds a lot like where you guys are at right now. How do you make sure that your team kind of channels that maybe negative momentum in a positive way?
Well, we have to control what we can control. That's the bottom line, and that's our effort, our attitude, our preparation, and we have to be able to go out and apply that on the court. It stinks to lose, and certainly we don't feel good about it, but we do have to try to find some positives. But also, hopefully there's a little bit of anger. There's a little bit of, we want to be done with this. And then, if we have that, then we have to do the necessary things in order to be done with it. It's not going to change unless we change it. It's not like a team is going to feel sorry for us. No one does. And we can't feel sorry for ourselves. We have to go out there and we have to change it.
How's the team handling the fact that they've been losing lately? I mean, off the court in the locker room and their interactions with you. Are they okay? Not putting their heads down or anything?
I mean, they're down, sure. But, you have the chance to get better each day. And so we're trying to work and get better.
Coach, it's no secret that Murph has been struggling with his shot lately. And with this matchup coming up, it's obviously important to be able to shoot over the top of the zone. Have you been doing anything specifically to try to get either his confidence back or just get him back in a good rhythm?
Not really. I mean, nothing more than we've normally always done. Just working with him on shooting, encouraging him to take good shots, be ready to shoot. That's one of the big things. Your shot preparation, all of those things, and then shoot the ball.
Well, we had talked after the game on Saturday about Murph, very understandably, between the injury and some of, in some of the recent games here, feeling frustrated. Where do you notice or see that frustration the most?
Where do I see his frustration? I just think his inability to make shots. I mean, that's what he does, and he's gotten some clean looks. He just hadn't made them, and so that's frustrating when you know that you can shoot the basketball and the ball's not going through the basket.
There's been, I think a national article came out this week mentioning Horton as one of the top players that's sitting out this year. What do you see in him, and how have you kind of maybe seen more from him than you knew when you first got him while he's been on your practice squad this year?
Yeah, he's been as good as anybody on our team all year long. He's gotten confident. I think playing against Xavier and Trey and Aldis every day has really, really helped him. He's going to be a very good player. He has a chance to be a very good player. He can really shoot the basketball. He probably handles it a little bit better than I thought, and that's something he's continued to work on. He has a great spirit about playing. He's competitive. He's one of the most positive, upbeat guys I've ever been around. Comes to work every day to really work on his game, but also try to help us get better. And so he's been terrific, and we look forward to him having him able to play next year.
He obviously can't play in games, but how beneficial is it having a guy like that in practice?
It's really good. It could also mess with guys' confidence too, because you can play really good defense on them, and a lot of times this year, there's been nothing anybody could do. So that can mess with some guys as well. But it's been good. It's been good. It's been good for us. I tell our guys that, if you can guard him in practice, I haven't seen a better guy in this league that they will have to guard. And so if you can do a good job on him, then you have a chance to carry that over in the game. He gives us a great look when we're playing against, whether it's Elijah Hughes, Nolly, Walatende, I think that's how you say it, Walatende, number 53. All these guys that, and every team has a guy. Wara, he's been these guys, and he does a very, very good job of simulating them, but in his own way, because he's a little bit different. And so he's been good, and this year has been really hard for him. It's been really hard for him sitting out. He and I have had countless conversations, and even though it's something that is going to happen, to have the game taken from you is very difficult. And so he's really tried to use the practices like his games. And at times we have to try to slow him down, which is a good thing. We were going through walkthrough, and it's hard for him to walk through, and so that's been refreshing, and it's been really good.
Jeff, senior day coming up. I didn't know if you had any sort of update on what Kenna's plans were for this season and going forward.
Well, he'll be a part of the senior day ceremonies on Wednesday.